south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Two teams that came into the NFL together back in 1976. The Seahawks and Bucks are underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Oregon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on that first play, and it's second down.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense, I think, in the future. If you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
They'll stay on the ground with Irving. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. In motion left, Godwin. Throwing, Mayfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them? And do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Mayfield looks to throw. Evans has it left side. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 44-yard line. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Second and 5. They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. To throw, Mayfield. Across the formation, he finds Godwin. Well, safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a 3rd down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on 3rd down.
And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Here's a quick pass. He's got Chris Godwin. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll bring up 2nd down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Mayfield to throw it. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
It's been a pretty long opening drive. This will be play number 11 coming up on 3rd down. Here's Mayfield. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing third down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Irving is into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. Faking the give, Darnold. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. First carry here for Kenneth Walker III. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. Make that now 2 runs in a row that have netted them great results.
And it doesn't matter what kind of blocking scheme they're using, gap scheme, power scheme, zone running. They are finding people in those gaps and moving them and creating nice space for their runners.
To about the 26 here.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
So from the 26-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. They'll toss this out right to Walker. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
That is caught and able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running, passing, doing what they want on offense.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. Again, get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now to the ground. Here's Walker. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Darnold. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
A little bit of finger pointing and heavy discussion going on in the defensive backfield. It's man coverage, but they leave a guy wide open. They've got to be counting their lucky stars that this ball was overthrown.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Being chased out left. The ball comes out, and that will get out of bounds. Lucky there. They keep possession inside the 5. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down. Thankfully for the offense, a fortuitous bounce there on the fumble goes out of bounds because they're down here in the red zone. You don't want to lose one there.
You don't want to lose one, and the best part, because it went out of bounds, they retain possession, still have an opportunity to put...
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Kenneth Walker taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. That almost looked too easy, and I think thanks goes to the offensive line for making it look easy.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one. I'm not sure how much everyone understands the preparations that go into a game for an offensive line, because there's a reason that running backs and quarterbacks give them big gifts at the end of a season after a big year. The consistency and the continuity it takes to know each other and execute their blocks is pretty impressive.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their 2nd drive. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Baker going to give it to Irving. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
When coaches stress their defense being physical, they don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mayfield. He'll find McMillan here. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st. Now Mayfield. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Derek Hall in there that time to get him to the turf.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Play action. It's Darnold sliding out of the pocket, and he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
From the 50, it's Darnold. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Give him 30 yards there.
Let's just call it as we just saw it right there, a breakdown defensively. Seems like no one went with the tight end, and no one really did. Had all sorts of space in the middle of the field. Yeah, everyone else was covered, but he was not. Big play results.
These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On the counter, it's Walker trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Connecting with Kupp here on the out route. And the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions, even when you're taking some hits. Sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal. Here's Darnold. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Sam Darnold, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
He didn't originally want to run, but he didn't see anything in the passing game, so he scrambled, and wouldn't you know it, he scores a touchdown anyway. It's awfully nice to have a quarterback who can make things happen with his legs.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Back now comes Tampa Bay. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. And if his coaches are correct, we're going to see a lot more runs like that from this young rookie going forward.
And you know, slapping each other on the back up in the boots right now? The scouting department, because they really recommended this guy highly, and he's justifying their faith in him.
Mayfield now. And there's a short one taken in by Otten. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up second down.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Here's 2nd and 3. A run up the middle with Irving. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Mayfield. Throw left side complete. That's Evans. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 5. The tight end in motion right. And Mayfield just getting the play off. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
I'm wondering if the same thing went through your mind as mine. When I see a big man like that make a catch, all I keep thinking to myself is, big man with football. Look out, everyone. He may not juke you a whole lot, right? He may not run past you because of his size. You're talking about a guy weighing in the 270 range. But, boy, once he gets his mitts on the ball, he's going to be tough to bring down.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution because he realized he's in field goal range. No sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
They'll try it now with Irving. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively pure frustration. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now a 2nd and 6. Back to throw here. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
The Bucs on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Uchenna and Nwosu got the sack there. So this defense, they gave up some yards on this drive, but bottom line, they came up with a sack when it mattered.
And we know that every down counts, but let's be honest about it. People focus on 3rd down as a real key down in any drive, any situation. and they took full advantage of third down there and made a play.
And his kick is indeed good, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. So for this offense, Charles, remember drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there is never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
Antoine Winfield up from the secondary with a tackle.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to 33-yard line. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. The Trey Palmer deep for Tampa Bay. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now Mayfield and the Bucs come up on 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Out route, and the ball is caught by Godwin. And he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a 1st down. So they got him coming up from his linebacker spot.
And sometimes the position designation really doesn't matter. If you creep up to the line of scrimmage, you just have to look for the football. Make sure it moves before you do.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. And that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. It's a gain of 34.
Well, he looked his way quite a bit in this first half, and with good reason. You can see it there. He is such a handful defensively. Just too hard to keep him under wraps. It delivers a big play here for this offense.
In motion left, Godwin. Back to throw again. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Throwing, Mayfield. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Mike Evans, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Buccaneers are once again back in front. That's an old-fashioned death march there, partner. Took them a lot of plays, but hey, they did the job.
And the defense always preaches getting off the field, making a play, and turning it back over to their own offense. Unable to do so. A long, sustained drive by the offense.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now 17-14. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
And that went to the right side and incomplete.
No receivers open, so he was forced to put that one into Puget Sound. That's a great job defensively blanketing those receivers, and ultimately a smart idea by him just to get the ball out of there.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Darnold now to throw. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
Now it's Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. Here's Michael Dixon now to punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. From the gun, Mayfield. This is caught by McMillan. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Evans has it left side. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Mayfield. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. The Bucs forced to use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. Mayfield to throw it. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And again, it's Mayfield. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this 3rd quarter. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the 3rd quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the 2nd half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the 3rd quarter.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll take this to the 32, a gain of about 3. Third and 8. Now Darnold. Buying time to his... And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Yaya Diaby. He's the one who got in there. He gets the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And it's fielded at the 34. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And they will take over 1st and 10. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now Mayfield. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fair catch called for and collected right at the 10-yard line. Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Darnold. This is Fant on the short completion. Only able to gain a couple there, and it'll be second down. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting third and about 4 to go. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
To throw is Darnold. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
Now here's Michael Dixon, standing just outside his own goal line. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Taken from just outside the 30. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still, they've got the lead here, and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. To throw, Mayfield. He's got Otten. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Mayfield looks to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. They're backed up here with a 1st and... Straight ahead, it's Irving. And nothing doing. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit, and that's what he did on that play.
They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. In motion, the tight end. Mayfield off the play fake. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Evans. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on fourth. Just enough push up front. He only needed about 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches.
Back to throw now on first down. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's second down. Mayfield. Right back to Chris Godwin. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Here's a handoff to Irving. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Not a big run, not an explosive run, but they've held the ball for plenty of plays on this drive. They're just trying to impose their will on the defense right now.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. Mayfield now. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown. Cade Otton. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And we will get another look at Seattle's offense. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. And complete to Smith and Jigba. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
Slot man moves right. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
And we sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. Here's Darnold. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First target, first catch, and a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Now off the bootleg, Darnold. He finds Smith and Jigba. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. Option play, and they'll give to Walker. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw, Darnold. He completes this to Walker. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and it'll be fourth down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on, catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Bucs. They've got the football. They also are in front here on the scoreboard as we start the fourth. Throwing, Mayfield. He'll find McMillan here. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Play fake, Mayfield. Throw left side, hauled in by Otten. So he stopped for no gain. And that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. Here's Riley Dixon now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. Pushing through the contact. A 48-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Play action. It's Darnold. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Yaya Diaby able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. But you could almost see his eyes light up defensively. I mean, as a linebacker, that's about as quick as you can get to a quarterback.
So what did your 3rd grade teacher teach you about straight lines, right? As soon as you have those, you take full advantage of them. He found a gap in the offensive line, got to the quarterback, and put him on the deck.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be 3rd and 6. Now it's Darnold. This is Fant on the short completion. And he is going to have a Seahawks 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
Straight ahead, Walker. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. Up the middle, here's Walker. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves him with a more standard 2nd down. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Left side here, that's the tight end Fant. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. I don't know how well our microphones are picking it up for those of you at home, but Charles, you and I can hear it. A lot of groans right now coming from this crowd.
I don't know if we're picking up what's happening in the stadium or from the people who are supporting this team at home, because it's coming through loud and clear to you and me. This offense, they've been stuck in neutral much of the game, and on that last play, they actually went in reverse. I think this crowd would have liked neutral, don't you?
Yeah, neutral would have strongly been preferred. They'll take anything positive at this point. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he gets the 1st down yardage he needs before he's brought down at the 6. 54 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Here's Walker. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Darnold from the gun. And this is going to be caught. No, they say it's incomplete.
That was a difficult catch, and I admire the fact that he actually caught the football, worked so hard to get his feet down inbounds, tried to do the toe tap. Like, my dad's an accomplished tap dancer. I'm not sure he would have gotten his feet in on that one.
Is he really, by the way?
That he is.
How about that? What about young Davis?
No, it did not. It did not cross.
It didn't carry over. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Ken Walker with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up, never even got to it.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Yeah, they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. In motion left, Godwin. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. There's a short one taken in by Otten. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Here's Mayfield. Finding Otten once more. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Going to the air again with Mayfield. Delivering a pass here to Evans on the out route. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion good for 7 there. And that'll bring up second down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
From the gun, Mayfield. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Mayfield with it once more. He's got Otten. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 25-yard line. That catch puts him right at 100 yards receiving now, and it also gives him a first down.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
Now Mayfield. He's going to go down here, a sack. They push him back to the 34. Ernest Jones, the linebacker, with a sack. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
Mayfield to throw it. And this is caught by Evans.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. They run out of the gun with Irving. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. This taken in at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down 27-21. A minute 55 remaining. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10. Darnold. That one tipped, and it's incomplete. What good hands there defensively. It's 2nd down. This pass rush, they've been excellent all game long, and another example of it right there in the closing moment.
Not only with the pass rush, but how well they're coached, because if you don't quite get there, get to the quarterback, get your hands up into the passing lane and knock it away, as we just saw there.
Here's Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. Well, this defense needing a stop here. Got to have it. 3rd and 9. Now Darnold. And this is going to be incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Here we go. This is 4th down. 4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Bucs are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. The Tampa Bay offense set to go again. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. Here's Mayfield. That is caught. And he is going to have a Bucs 1st down. All smiles on that sideline. That should be the one to do it. And they'll indeed take a knee. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. On the handoff, this is Irving. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Down to one knee goes Mayfield, and that's all she wrote. So no shortage of offense in this game, but a very clean game too, Charles. Each side got its points, but they did so without committing a single turnover.
That's so true, and it certainly felt like NFL football at its finest, right? You talk about the highest level from both of these offenses. Neither one of them afraid of taking risks, and both of them aggressively pushing it downfield. I did like, Brandon, how smart they were about going about their business, though. They were high-flying, but they took care of the ball.
Yeah, they did. And just keeping it clean in a game like this with all these points, you don't see that very often, even at the highest level. Job well done by both sides. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.